between these two sides. Captains alongside as always, Kayla Reinecker, Amy Hunt, Stock, the match referee for us. Kayla, as always, you've got the coin. Please give it a spin for us.
Heads.
Heads is a call, and it is a head.
Amy, you've won the toss again. What are you going to do and why?
I think we're going to bat first today.
Yeah?
Yeah, I just think, obviously coming off the last game, I think the pitch is pretty good, obviously. And to get the South Africans back out in the field, I think is our plan.
Yeah. Speak about your innings. Very good, 73 from 52. How did you feel out there? Did you feel the conditions were a little bit easier to bat on?
Yeah, definitely. I thought it was tricky enough at the start. I thought they bowled well early, and then I kind of felt a little bit more comfortable sort of later on in my innings.
Good innings from the team perspective. How much are you looking forward to build on that in this fifth and final one?
Yeah, definitely. I think obviously we haven't been where we'd like to be batting wise this trip, but I think that'll give us a load of confidence going into the last game. I think there's definitely still more in the tank to come from the team as well.
Any changes there for this fifth, final one?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I'm not 100% sure. Sorry.
All right. Thank you so much. Play well.
No worries. Thank you so much. Good luck.
Kayla, what would you have done?
It was a good toss to lose.
Yeah.
We wanted to have a ball first.
Yeah.
Lost and final game.
Yeah, your innings specifically, the attacking mindset, is that what you guys look to play with throughout the innings and not just yourself?
Yeah, listen, I think we as South Africans, we don't like to not put up a fight.
Yeah.
We always like to put up a fight. They always say it's no DNA, just RSA.
4 matches on the bounce now that you've won. What do you look forward to in this fifth and final one? What are the 1%ers that you want to improve on in this final game?
Yeah, obviously we know we've been struggling with the batting in the top order. Also just a few improvements in the bowling also. Yes, there is 1%ers in the field also, but as I say, we take the small wins.
Yep. And any changes there?
Yeah, 2 changes. Ashley van Wyk and Luyanda and Souza come in.
Play well today.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. So news from the centre is that Ireland again have won the toss. This time they've chosen to have a bat first. between these two sides. Ireland again winning the toss, this time electing to bat first and hopefully trying to continue with the momentum that they had in that fourth T20 international where Amy Hunter, the captain, batted so beautifully. Unfortunately lost out in that fourth T20 international, but another opportunity for them to close out this series well. Tabiseng Nini opening the bowling for South Africa. Betty's alongside me in the commentary box. Afternoon, Betty.
Hi, Pilar.
Beautiful afternoon in Pretoria.
It's sunny, it's hot. It's the fifth and last T20 game. And as you know, South Africa is leading 4-0 in the series. And Ireland would want to win this one, at least to go back home with a win.
Definitely. It wasn't the sole focus, though, for Amy Hunter when I spoke to her at the toss. She said they want to improve on certain areas in their game, edged and just dropping short of the slip.
That is the whole point of playing test series, is to check where you're at because they are in preparation for the World Cup.
Improving on the 1%ers, she said. She said they would ideally want to carry the momentum from that fourth game into this final one. Lovely shot through the field, a little bit of a fumble. Good enough hand to stop it from not going to the boundary, and they'll pick up 2 as Amy Hunter opens the scoring for Ireland. So it's important. I mean, you mentioned the fact that oh, that's close. That is pretty close. First wicket for South Africa. She went across her stubs. Was Amy Hunter trying to access that onside? And Tabiseng Nini strikes with the 5th ball of this over. Amy Hunter has to go.
I think you might have jinxed Amy Hunter's wicket, hey? Because you were carrying on that, she was carrying the momentum and would obviously want to improve on this game. But unfortunately, she has to go for 2.
I might have just talked her up a little bit. But she has to go for 2. Ireland lose their first wicket.
And coming in at the crease is Alice Tector.
Struggled a little bit with her momentum, Alice Tector, in that fourth game. Maybe the freedom of coming in the power play overs might just free her up a little bit, Alice Tector.
And she might look to score runs in this game.
Solid over from Tabiseng Nini to open proceedings in this 5th game. She's picked up the wicket of the Ireland captain, Amy Hunter. It's 2 for 1 after the first over.
That's a brilliant start for South Africa to get a wicket in the power play.
Faye Cowling will share the new ball duties with Tabiseng Nini. She's had a good week, Faye Cowling. All-round performances with bat and ball. She's a good catcher. Lovely hands in the outfield. This time around, opening the bowling. She goes to Freya Sargent. Starts starts off with the dot ball. You mentioned the fact that there's a World Cup next year, and both of these sides are obviously in preparation of that World Cup. How fantastic it is! It is of an opportunity for all these nations to have an international competition like the World Cup at this age group.
So it's very much impressive, especially with the SA schools Betway coming in. It will be preparation for the girls. Also, with the SA under 19, with the girls that are in high school, they have a pathway of actually going into under 19 and making it to the first team. So at least now you're not just playing in high school. There's actually a pathway that after the SA schools Betway 20, you can go on play under 19 and then go on to any clubs or playing for the Lions, the Titans, and obviously making it to the team and to the first teams.
The professionalization of women's cricket is also so important. Hollywood Bets Pro Series, Pro 50, Pro 20, so important to the development of the women's game as well.
It's very much important because I remember last year I was in commentary when the KZN side was playing at Supersport Park. And I didn't know Nonkululeko Mlaba at that time. But ever since I started commentary, I was like, no, man, this is a brilliant player. And look at how she showcased her talent in the recent T20 World Cup in Dubai.
Excellent performances from Lefty Mlaba. Top edge and put down. It carried all the way to third. She came rushing in, Chantal Fenter, and she just couldn't get that under control.
That was a big, big, big chance for South Africa to break this partnership before it even carries.
Catching today hasn't been impressive on both sides. South Africa with the first drop catch of this fifth game. You just mentioned Lefty Mlaba and how she bowled so well at that T20 World Cup. A lot of these youngsters would have watched that and all those performances from the Proteas at the World Cup to reach back-to-back finals.
As much as I can say, it's tough to being a bridesmaid for twice in a row, but it's a stepping stone. We're gonna make it to even make it to the finals because we are always making it to the semifinals. So there's an improvement. There's an improvement that's happening. We're making it to the finals, and then we will get it.
Beating Australia in the semis.
It was massive. That was massive.
Scoop. There is protection in the form of Ntabi saying Nini, and they're coming back for the second. Good running from Alice Tector and from Freya Sargent. An opportunity in the second over went a begging for South Africa. 2 overs done at 6 for 1.
And I think Ireland, if they can't play the boundaries, they must take those singles, run well between the wickets so you can score runs. Make sure after the power play you have a decent score.
And I guess that was the improvement that they would have wanted to have coming into this game from the fourth game. The strike rotation, making sure that you continue to accumulate runs other than finding the boundary option. That was so important in that fourth game. Philander's up to the stumps to Nini.
Ooh. South Africa's bowling really well in this power play.
Pathway. So good. Oh, was there an edge? Was there an edge? Nini's reaction suggests that there was an edge. Philander's up to the stumps, couldn't get it.
And another opportunity missed of getting that wicket.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely an edge. She's gone back now, Jaylee Philander. A lot of these girls will be looking at not only national colors, international cricket, but also the leagues. So much opportunity now in league cricket for a lot of the women's cricketers that are playing around the world.
Which is very brilliant because the leagues for the women in South Africa now, as you can see, they have grown. They are getting sponsors, which means, for example, the Titans, they are getting a lot of sponsors to actually uplift the women's cricket because getting to the final for the World Cup shows that without the resources, we were able to make it. But in the next 4 years, if it can carry on, we can actually bring one home.
Money, such an important word.
I didn't want to say it.
Definitely say it. Money. So important in any sport, men's or women's game. Money plays a big role. Driven down the ground. Good work from the captain. Nini's just conceded the 2 runs from her second over. 3 overs done. 8 for 1.
And Ireland is still searching for that boundary after the third over.
Definitely a good start from South Africa's seamers. Cowling and Nini keeping things tight. Created one opportunity, one they've already taken.
And the other one that they dropped.
Good single, really good single from Tector. Strike rotation much better in this early stages of her innings in this 5th game. Good aggression from Cowling. So money plays a big role, doesn't it, Betty? Because you mentioned some of the backing that women's cricket in the country is starting to get now. At franchise level, teams like the Titans and
The Dolphins, the Lions.
they're all investing heavily in the women's game.
Which is very, very important because remember, they're playing at the under 19 level. Some come from disadvantaged groups, and you can't afford them to move to another province where they are not going to benefit financially.
It's so important that having opportunities in your home province, where the girls that play for the Titans come from, the surrounding areas here in Pretoria. Top edge again. This time it'll fall safer and it will go to the boundary. She's brave, Freya Sargent. And she's taking a little bit of the fight back to Faye Cowling. Gets 4.
And that's the first boundary for Ireland.
Probably didn't end up where Freya Sargent was looking to play that ball, but the result is a good one.
And it's all that matters. Make sure you score runs on the board.
Doesn't matter how they come. In the field now, fine leg comes up, deep square to the boundary. Telegraphed that short ball. Knew exactly what she was wanting to do, Faye Cowling.
And Freya wanted to go hard for that one.
She reverts back to her normal field. The square leg up in the ring and fine leg back. In the air again and up and over. And running away to the boundary. 2 boundaries in the over of the Freya Sargent bat. Ends the 4th well for Ireland.
That is a much needed boundary for Ireland in this over, the boundaries in this over. And they're looking to build on this partnership, which they are on 15 runs. And Ireland is 17 for 1 after 4 overs. We have a change in bowling. Gemma Butter is coming in for the 4th over.
Young off spinner, Gemma Butter. In batter as well. Decently in the previous game. Sweep is out very quickly from Alice Tector. Gets 1 from the first ball. And so these preparations for the World Cup are so important, Betty, because obviously these 2 sides won't know what to expect from conditions in Malaysia. It's probably the first time that they will be going to Malaysia.
It will be tough, but they must remember most of the team haven't played in Malaysia. So we can't say this team has an upper hand on this one. That's another boundary for Ireland.
Misfield from Kayla Reynecker, the captain. Once it gets through the inner ring, always go to 4th to the boundary here at the Tuks Oval. There's been an ICC event once in Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur. 2008 Under-19 Men's World Cup.
I was probably very young at that time.
That was very, very, very much a long time ago. So it'll be interesting when an ICC event returns to Malaysia in the T20 Women's Under-19 World Cup. It's such a long time ago that I don't think a lot of people even remember how the conditions are in Malaysia.
So, Pilar, I just want to ask a question. How do you feel about ICC making the countries that don't normally host World Cups that are hosting now, even though the pitches are a struggle? For example, in America, and now the under-19s are heading to Malaysia.
I think it's a brilliant thing. Expand more about it. It's 5 overs gone. It's 24 for 1. I think it's a brilliant thing because it grows
the sport in the country.
Yep, it absolutely does. It creates interest from young boys, young girls in America, in Malaysia to pick up cricket, play cricket, try and find some sort of organized cricket to play. So definitely brings about the interest. Maybe 4 years from this year, there'll be more American boys playing
Definitely.
cricket. So I think those are the pros of taking these ICC events to countries like the US.
And as much as we always complain about their pitches, but it's also good for the sport because it's growing. Um, 10 years down the line, we'll be talking a different story about America. We weren't expecting America to compete for a spot in the semifinals, but they were actually competing. They weren't adding numbers to the tournament, but they were actually competing.
Close, and up goes the finger. Alice Tector down for the sweep. And she misses it, and Kayla Reinecker strikes. South Africa pick up yet another wicket inside this power play. And it's a big one. It's Alice Tector who has to go for 5.
That's unfortunate for Ireland because this partnership was starting to build and it had to be broken after 23 runs.
Long trudge off the field for Alice Tector.
And South Africa has picked up 2 wickets in this power play.
That's bang in front. Absolutely bang in front. Kayla Reinecker keeping things tight and straight. And at the wickets, Annabelle Squires now to the wicket. She played nicely in the previous game, Annabelle Squires. Her partnership with Amy Hunter at the back end was crucial in trying to get Ireland as close as they possibly could to that South African total. Infrastructure will also improve over the years in those countries.
If they get the funding, funding is very important. Like you said before, money. We have to talk money. There's so much we can do, but if there's no funding, unfortunately, some things can't be done.
Good running from Annabelle Squires and Freya Sargent. Pick up 2 runs.
You know, Pila, I always say if a team is struggling to get boundaries, make sure to take those singles, get those twos. It's so important to run between the wickets because you get runs more quicker.
And out of that, Kayla Reinecker saw that Squires wanted to move to that offside and possibly pick that gap on the leg side. Oh, tight. Better throw from me, so maybe would have had Freya Sargent scrambling to make her crease.
She was doubting herself. But communication will be very important for this partnership because Freya is looking to run well between the wickets. So they need to communicate properly to build those runs. And they are currently on 28 runs for 2, and they do not want to lose wickets very cheaply.
Can't pierce that gap. Good fielding on the boundary. Another successful over for South Africa. They picked up the wicket of Alice Tector. It's 28 for 2 after 6. Really good power play for South Africa. They were able to pick up 2 wickets in that 6-over power play and also minimize the damage that Ireland were looking to do in that 6-over power play because of the fielding restrictions. 29 for 2. South Africa a little bit ahead in this contest so far. Water will continue. Outside edge. Long chase for Seshni Naidu. She'll catch up with it. And good teamwork.
They're trying to minimize those boundaries and restrict Ireland from getting them. So the fielding has to be posh, like it has to be top notch and not get easy boundaries. So if you have to chase, you have to.
You were an athlete once in your life,
Yeah.
Betty.
I was. You know, I feel like it's weird when I say I'm retired. I've retired at 27 years.
Still get out there.
Not a chance. My bones are too broken for me to go back. Unfortunately.
Speak about the demands though on your body when you are a professional athlete. I mean, you obviously told me about your injuries. How much of a toll does it take on your body to play professional sport?
It takes a lot of toll because I use an example. Luke Shaw from Manchester United. He's always getting injured. I was also always getting injured, and with my injuries, they were horrific. And then sometimes you have to listen to your body, and I was just like, if I go back here, it'll probably be the knee now. And I'm like, it's too much of like your mental, your like it's too much. Unfortunately, it takes a lot of toll on your body. You have to be strong. Sometimes your timeline would be 6 to 8 months, but it's taking you 9 to 12 months. But injuries, unfortunately, are part of the game.
And mentally?
It was the first time I actually had depression. Like, I couldn't believe it. But that's why I'm just like, whatever I go through in life, there's nothing that can match what I was going through when I was injured.
Oh, hesitation, hesitation.
Oh.
That is out. There was a slight hesitation in the middle of the pitch between this pair in an effort to take that quick single. And Annabelle Squires hasn't made her ground. That is the least that Ireland wanted to happen in this batting innings. They've lost a third.
And it goes back to what I was saying. Communication. Communication will be very important. You can't hesitate. If you're going to go for that single, go for it. So they've lost a wicket cheaply with being run out. So Ireland are now 35 for 3 after 7 overs.
Yeah, that's not great. Wanted to build partnerships. That was the message from Amy Hunter at the start of the day.
Yeah, partnerships are very important because they set you up for a big score.
Laura McBride in at number 5. A huge task on her hands. Needs to get the scoreboard ticking here for Ireland. Losing wickets consistently at the moment. 35 for 3. Oh, there's another one. It's another one. It's Kayla Reyneke again. This time it's Freya Sargent who's missed a straight one. And Ireland a little bit in tatters now at 35 for 4.
Should Ireland start getting nervous now? Because they are currently sitting on 35 for 4. And it seems like the partnerships are not being built, which means South Africa is going on with a game plan and actually doing well.
Not what you want to see when you've won the toss and elected to bat first. 4 down, and it's not even halfway through the innings, Ireland. Alice Walsh.
And what's happening now, the Ireland has to change their game plan because they are losing their wickets. So now they have to find a way of actually not potentially getting bowled out by South Africa.
There were shouts of catch it.
I heard something.
Off the mark. Alice Walsh.
So as you can see for that single, they didn't hesitate. They actually went. So if they can do that, they can actually build on this partnership and make it worthwhile.
Need to find a way. Exactly it, Betty. You need to find a way. That's down the leg side. Trouble though, trouble! Needed to put her skates on. Laura McBride.
Yeah, no, they told themselves they're going to get these singles. Laura and Alice are looking to run here.
Good tight bowling from Kayla Reyneke. Another wicket off the Reyneke over. It's 8 done. 37 for 4, Ireland.
Reyneke has been bowling well. For both her overs, she actually got a wicket.
Ireland's batting woes continue on this tour. Every time that they look to put on some sort of a partnership, it's been South Africa that's come back and broken what would have been a promising stand between two batters out in the middle for Ireland. Down the ground and past Reyneke and onto the boundary fence.
A much needed boundary for Ireland.
Laura McBride getting off the mark in fine fashion, finding the boundary. Pushed Mudov back now into the boundary. Too long off. Through the field. That'll be another 4 for McBride. Back-to-back boundaries off the Gemma Botha over. Ireland creeping to 50.
Two much needed boundaries for Ireland. And Laura actually making it happen. She doesn't look like she's going to hold back.
Such good feet on that shot from Laura McBride. She got herself into a really good position.
Sure reminds me of Laura.
Wolfhard?
Yeah, definitely.
Bad example. Outside edge and straight to Nini. This time it's going to be tight. A better throw, possibly. Good running though from Ireland. Dot ball to finish the Gemma Porter over. That's gone for 9. 9 of us gone. It's 46 for 4.
That was a good over for Ireland. Much needed runs. And scoring 9 runs on that over is definitely worth it. Reyneke is back in attack. And she'll probably be looking to break this partnership.
Just a single from the first ball. Going at 5.3 runs to the over, Ireland at this stage of the game. It's not a bad run rate.
I was about to say, oh,
put down. Now the quick single. And they make it to the other end, all happening in one ball.
communication. I feel like also the throwing has been a bit too high for the wicket keeper because she has to bring it down to actually run the player out. And I feel like you don't have enough time to actually check. To check which side you must throw at because you want the player to be run out. So, yeah.
Speaking about that run rate, it's a healthy one, isn't it, Betty? Because they're going at 5.3 runs to the over, but it's the wickets that's the problem for Ireland at this stage.
Yeah, it's not bad. If they can carry on with this run rate, they can get a decent score. So Ireland has to pick a bowler where they know they're going to hit.
Awareness, trying to find a weakness in the South African attack. It's not easy.
Ooh.
Oh, it's come off her face, Kayla Reyneke. There'll be concerns because that might be a little bit more serious than that. Ireland have gone to 50. It's 50 for 4 after 10. And we'll take a drinks break.
That looked painful.
Oh! What a judge. What a judge.
mamele kuthobana xa abanye they were having lunch. So bebehleba so bebehleba kuthobana kuthiwa guys xa sitya bhekelani ezinayithini. Shame, I don't know mass about that.
Itheni ingane yaphelele edolweni.
Njalo le
Ibhola.
mbethe ebusweni.
Oh, imbethe ebusweni?
Yeah.
Oh, ndilidolo.
Why ibhola yecricket ibuhlungu?
Ngihamba ibhola cricket yani so.
Yeah. Exactly, ibuhlungu. I feel like cricket, man, kunzima. Like I find like in soccer where squads like the changes and you literally have to wait for someone to retire. Unelaka, always I feel like goes in it. Unelaka if you're not doing
Cricket is hard.
too much. And like there's this guy, another founder a pal. Is he under 18?
Yeah.
And he plays
Cricket.
under 19 years. So obviously if you he has to pick one next year. And apparently doesn't he does the comments he can make it like the book at 8. But in the film you are not guaranteed that you will make it.
Yeah. You're not guaranteed. Luyanda Nzuza will hold the first ball of the drinks break. Before that, South Africa's captain was struck on the face by a delivery that just popped up from her hand in an attempt to do the fielding of her own bowling. She's come off the field. Placed by Mika van Voorst. Nice start from Luyanda Nzuza. Tall, lanky off spinner, so she'll get plenty of bounce from this wicket. Two dots from the Nzuza over.
That's a good start.
Up and over, lovely shot. Laura McBride, she's the one that's finding the boundaries for Ireland at the moment.
I think Ireland should have a game plan in every over leading towards the 20th over. Just aim to get a boundary in 1 over. 1 over.
And then look to rotate the singles for the rest of that over. The art of accumulation, isn't it, Betty?
Yeah, so they can stay at that run rate of 5.3.
Just drops short. Venter.
South Africa has been really fielding well. Never mind the drop catches, but in terms of restricting Ireland of getting easy boundaries. The singles. Nzuza has to retake that one.
Ground fielding's been excellent from South Africa. All week long. Good finish to the over. In fact, it's a wide from Zuza, so she'll have to repeat it.
And that might be the first extra of the game. South Africa has been very disciplined.
Oh, run, hurry. Safely in from Alice Walsh. First Nzuza over, goes for 6. It's 57 for 4 after 11.
What's your score prediction?
Well, McBride, if she can get more boundaries from the remaining 9 overs, this could be a really good score for Ireland. Still need to keep going though. 57 for 4.
If they can get to 100, they might have a score they can compete with. But South Africa has been very, very good with the bat this week.
They'll need more than just 100, Betty. I think 120, 130, that gets Ireland into the game.
But now we are judging by the score. The partnership is currently sitting on 22.
Good single from McBride and Walsh. Ashley van Wyk is the new bowler. Young leg spinner, Ashley van Wyk. So impressive about the South African bowling lineup is that they've got variety, Betty. They've got off spinners, they've got leg spinners, they've got fast bowlers, they've got medium pacers that all do a great job.
And Ireland takes a quick single.
Down the leg side, a little bit, Nzuza. And she does well. Yes, she does. It's a long way down for the tall Luyanda Nzuza. Keep it down to just 2 runs.
That was good running. They got 3 from that ball. And already in this over, they're sitting on 5 runs. Oh.
Just skip down the wicket was Alice Walsh. Well to come back because Kaylee Philander was quick, but not quick enough to whip those bells off in time.
One thing I can say, we have to remember she's playing at an under 19 level. So this is still growth. Let's look at it after 3 years. The benefits of playing under 19 is your chance to actually grow from the sport. Some are lucky to actually make it out after the under 19 level, but it's actually a stepping stone for getting into the first team of the national team.
South Africa will be happy that Kayla Reinecke's back on the field. They grow them tough in the Western Cape. She doesn't want to be down for too long.
Doing it for the badge. Doing it for the badge for South Africa.
As the saying go, no DNA, just RSA.
Obviously.
Just looking at some of the players that have progressed to senior ranks, that participated in that first ICC T20 Under-19 World Cup here in South Africa from all countries. I've seen Karabo Miso from South Africa play international cricket. That's another Under-19 cricketers making the senior step up. So this pathway, this level is so important as a feeder system to the national sides all over the world.
Definitely, because you have to remember, in other sports, there are a lot of stepping stones. Like you can, after matric, you can get into a university and play for the university. Whereas, unfortunately, when it comes to university cricket, it's not too. There's not like a format where they have the opportunity to play varsity cricket, USA. Whereas for the men after high school, if they don't get into club cricket, they can actually play for the university. For example, the likes of Aiden Markram, actually, our captain, Lungingidi was also here at Tuks. They actually started here at Tuks before they actually made it to play for the Titans. The likes of Devalt Brevis, they started at the university level. So when it comes to the men, they have a variety of opportunities, either not study and play for the Lions Club Cricket or play for the university.
13 gone at 70 for 4. I think that's such an important point that you make. It's to get the women's systems on par with the men's, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Because obviously there's the SA schools Betway. We would love to have the senior women's sides playing against each other. But unfortunately, it has to start at grassroots level. Are we filling up the stadiums to actually watch the women's cricket? So if we are not doing that, how do you expect for the women to have the same league?
100%. I mean, if you look at the men's sides, it's provincial weeks for almost every age group. And I know now for women's cricket there is the equivalent of provincial weeks, which will start now in December. But for a long time, there weren't those systems and those pathways for women's cricket. Oh, quick hands from Jaylee Philander. That back foot didn't leave the crease from Lara McBride. So those systems are so important when you look at it and how relatively successful men's cricket has been in the country. There's a pipeline, a genuine pipeline of how to get to the top. You need to replicate that for women's cricket as well.
But one thing I can say is there's been growth. It might be slower, but there's baby steps. Like the women's game is also growing, so we can take that. It will get where we want it to get. But let's accept what we have now. An opportunity for a run out. Oh, that was painful. Ireland take a quick single, and they are currently sitting on 72 for 4.
Nice tidy over from Ashley van Wyk. 14 done. Ireland need to get a move on at 73 for 4. Hollywood Bets Pro Series is also so important because we've spoken about it at length about how important the professionalizations of women's sport is. Making sure that they're taken care of from a financial point of view, from a coaching point of view, upskilling, and so that when they do graduate and progress to national level, it's sort of a plug and play.
And there's not too much of a big gap. Because one thing we've always struggled here in South Africa, when it comes to playing in the league, it's different when it comes to the national stage because the gap is too big.
Right, from Tabiseng Nini to start her third over.
South Africa is currently sitting on 3 extras after 14 overs.
So that gap needs to be closed.
Yes.
Look for the second, but the fumble wasn't too far away from, I think it's Tiara Ramlakan who's there. So those interventions that we speak about are so important to closing that gap between the grassroots and the professional ranks in South African women's cricket. Still very much in its infancy, but when you look at some of the senior performances from the Proteas women to finals in the T20 version of the game, semi-finals in 50 over cricket, World Cups.
This just shows that we are not going to tournaments to add numbers. We are actually competing.
Serious cricket nation, South Africa.
We are
Serious
definitely.
sporting nation, South Africa, isn't
You
it?
know.
It's not just the cricket or the rugby.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, like when it comes to the sports, we've been doing very well for the past 2-3 years now.
Hit away and just on the bounce to cow corner. Banyana AFCON champions.
Yeah.
Bafana bronze at AFCON.
And obviously the Springboks. And also the men's side, they made it to the finals.
Back to back, bok to bok. Serious sporting nation, this.
Definitely.
Single down the ground from Alice Walsh.
This partnership has been very, very impressive. They're currently sitting on 42 runs. And it's much needed for the second power play.
Ooh, the fumble allows it to come back for the second. Little bit sloppy on that final delivery was South Africa. 16 done, rather 15 done.
I'm quite impressed with Lara and Alice when it comes to building this partnership. A chance of getting a boundary, they've taken it. They are running well between the wickets, and the communication has been very impressive.
What will concern Ireland a little bit now, even though the partnership is nearing 50 runs, is the pace of it. We needed to go a little bit quicker. With 5 overs left, we needed to go a touch quicker. 5.3 runs to the over at the moment. So more boundaries for them. Maybe double up, maybe get to 7 and over, 8 and over. That'll propel them to 120, 130, maybe even more.
If they can get that one good over.
Ooh, spin, watch the spin. Keep ticking along. McBride and Walsh. Oh, confusion! Easy run out.
Finally, finally.
This throw from Karabo Miso was direct. It was strong. And South Africa break this partnership. That was really going well for Ireland. It was worth 47. But Alice Walsh, confusion in the middle between her and Laura McBride. And it's Walsh who has to go for 10. Ireland lose the 5th wicket.
This is probably the most important partnership for Ireland. And now having to start another partnership will be very tough for them to look for those boundaries.
Timely breakthrough for South Africa. That's the end of it. The composure for Miso to pick up and choose the right end to throw at was spot on. Single. Ellie McGee is at the crease, has that run out. Unfortunate way for Alice Walsh to lose a wicket. Ellie McGee off the mark, straight off. Top edge.
She was too far. But there was another chance for South Africa.
What South Africa have done well here, Betty, is that they haven't.
Yeah, there's a bit of numbers. At least they're not playing at an empty oval.
This is your part of the world. Do you enjoy living here?
I do. This is my home, guys. This is my home.
Strong university, Tuks and all sporting.
Definitely. Definitely. You saw in the Olympics, Team South Africa was dominated by Tuks athletes. So,
Deanna Smith.
and Peter Kotzer. Yeah, there's quite I can't even say. When we had the Tuks Sports Awards last week, and then we were giving national colors to the athletes that actually went to Paris. And if I can tell you, there was actually more than 100 athletes that went to the Paris Olympics from Tuks sport.
That's amazing. Paralympic Games as well.
Our bronze medalist, Donald,
Lampard.
he actually got Sportsman of the Year.
Best place to be if you're a budding sportswoman or sportsman.
Definitely. And also depends which sport you're playing. But the majority, this is the home. Look at me doing marketing for Tuks.
Athletics as well. Very strong athletics club. Yeah?
Yes, the likes of Akani. This is their home.
Down the ground. And
Oh.
through the field. A little bit late in getting down there. Ellie McGee gets the boundary for Ireland.
Much needed boundary for Ireland, much needed. And leading towards the 20th over, they should look for boundaries. They've got the wickets, so why not risk it?
Still 5 wickets in hand for Ireland, so they can still afford to go at almost everything here. They're cowling. Oh, misfield. And Ireland are alert to everything here in an effort to get some more runs on the board. Ends off the 17th over with a dot. Faye Cowling. 92 for 5 after 17.
If Ireland didn't lose the 2 wickets in the power play, the first power play, they would have gotten an opportunity to get a decent score. But Lara has charged up to get the good score for Ireland. There's a chance for South Africa. Oh, dropped catch.
Yeah, that's the captain. It's Kayla Reyneke who's put it down. Top edge from Ellie McGee. And the simplest of opportunities goes down. In the deep. Good work from that fielder down there. Keeps it to just 1. Pitched outside leg and missing leg stump from Ashley van Beek with that leg before appeal.
I feel like bowlers, they do it on purpose where they scream because they can see it pitched outside leg, but they're just taking chances. Oh!
Big hit. Umpire saying she's made her ground. Running between the wickets from an Ireland point of view has been much improved in this final game.
which is needed because they've been a team that was struggling to get boundaries. They've been scoring.
Stumped. Laura McBride trying to up the ante, skips down and misses one. And Jaylee Philander does the work behind the stumps.
She's been brilliant this game. She's been very brilliant. As I was saying, Ireland has been scoring a low total. So they have an option of running well between the wickets because, as you can see, even on this fifth T20 game, they are struggling to get boundaries.
Lovely flight and dip and turn from Ashley van Wyk. McBride just missing. Batted well though, Laura McBride. 33 of 33. Lucy Neely to the crease. Last ball for Ashley van Wyk. That's a strong shot from Lucy Neely first up. Gets off the mark. Lovely 4-over spell from Ashley van Wyk. She's picked up the wicket and conceded just the 16 runs. Ireland after 18 overs on 96 for 6.
Ireland should look to go to 110 in the last 12 balls. At least 110, 115, depending if they get the boundaries.
I think that's a competitive score.
For them. For them. For them.
Nini will be tasked to make sure that they don't get to that 110, 115. She's back for a final over. It's gotta go. It's out. Another run out in this Ireland innings. Lucy Neely was caught on the back foot, couldn't get up in time from the call from Ellie McGee. And Ireland use another wicket. It's their 7th down now. Via a run out again. She was unsighted, didn't know where the ball was. Composure from South Africa's fielders. And Nini does the rest.
Unlucky to Ireland. It looks like it's going to be a struggle for them to even get to 110 runs.
Wicket off the first ball from the penultimate over. Nearly spins. This time they'll get through for the single. Leg buys.
Nini has been very impressive the whole game. She's been restricting Ireland from actually scoring boundaries. She didn't concede a boundary, if I'm correct.
Yeah, she's been good, Nini. kept it tight. She's predominantly at the stumps. Tabi saying Nini. That odd extra. It's just gone past that leg stump. Generally, she's been really good.
And the most important thing in T20 cricket, if you're not getting the wickets,
Folder, that's so good from Tabi Nini. Knocks back off stump. She's got 2 in this over. And South Africa are wrapping this Ireland innings up pretty quickly before 20 overs. Millie Spence is the last to go.
she actually got the second wicket. But I was about to say, even if she finishes with 1 wicket, she has restricted Ireland for actually getting a lot of runs in her 4 overs.
Tight bowling from South Africa's speedster. Need to get at least 100, Ireland.
You see, I was correct. I was correct.
Psychologically, it just gives you that extra bit of belief if you get to 100 runs. She's got 2 balls to try and pick up the last 2 wickets here, and Tabi Nini. She's at the stumps again. It's a good single from Ireland. Last ball of the Nini spell. She won't get the decision from the umpire, but it's been a brilliant bowling spell from Tabi Nini. She's picked up 2 for 12 in her 4 overs. And after 19 overs, Ireland will creep up to that 100-run mark, 99 for 8.
And they are left with 2 wickets.
Final over then of the Ireland innings in this 5th and final T20 International. Faye Cowling, as she's done in previous occasions, will bowl the final 6 deliveries of this innings. None for 19 in her first 3 overs. 110, 115 still on the cards, Betty.
I'll say 105. At least 105.
Edged and gone! The worst possible start to the final over for Ireland. Ellie McGee has edged it behind to Jaylee Philander. And Faye Cowling strikes in her first ball of this last over.
I heard that, Nick. Sitting from here, it was definitely out. And Cowling knew she got her first wicket of the game in the last over.
Nine down now, Ireland. 9 McNulty.
Cowling is looking to wrap things up for South Africa now in this last over. South Africa needs one more wicket to bowl Ireland out.
Number 11. No better opportunity to have for Faye Cowling to get her a second wicket. In the air, but it'll fall short. 100 on the board for Ireland. Need that extra 10 runs. Where do they get them from? Decent start. Watch the spin. Just one.
They're even taking that risk of getting at least a boundary in this last over.
They need it. They really do. Fine leg. Third comes up into the ring. Long on, long off, down to the boundary. Has to be full from Faye Cowling. It is. They'll just nip a single from it. More changes. Penultimate ball from Faye Cowling. Good option, but not past Luyanda Nzuza. Keeps it to just one.
They're searching for that boundary.
Final delivery then. Third up in the ring, fine leg back. Long on, long off. Cow corner. Offside field, all up in the ring. Can't get through that offside field. They'll get a single to finish on 104 for 9. Will Ireland in their allotted 20 overs. They started off pretty well. South Africa dominated the middle overs. They restricted Ireland from getting away in those middle overs. Kept the runs in check and continued to pick up wickets. As the batting card for Ireland, Laurie McBride, the standout with 33 from 34. They needed a little bit more from the top. Amy Hunter couldn't get going in this final game. She was dismissed for 2 in that first over from Ntabiseng Nini. Freya Sargent did a decent job, 21 from 24, but in the middle, that's where South Africa really bossed things. The number of runouts, it's not the greatest thing in a game of T20 cricket or any cricket, because it's sort of a free wicket for the opposition. South Africa's bowlers, they were tidy. It's only Gemma Botha that's, you could say, that it's just gone for a bit of tap, but 1 for 22 in her 3 overs. Ntabiseng Nini 2 for 12. She was excellent with the new ball. So was Faye Cowling, and at the death, 1 for 24 to her. Kayla Reyneke also picking up 2 wickets, with Ashley van Wyk picking up the other wickets. So then Ireland 104 for 9 in their allotted 20 overs. 5.3 is what they went at during that innings. McBride, the standouts, 33 from 34. So South Africa will need 105 for a clean sweep of this 5-match T20 international series between these two sides. We'll have a short break and the run chase will commence in a few minutes. Welcome back to the Tuks Oval for South Africa's run chase in this fifth and final T20 International against Ireland. South Africans will need 105 runs to win and a series clean sweep. Simone Lawrence and Gemma Botha to open proceedings for South Africa, with Freya Sargent responsible for trying to get quick wickets for Ireland. South Africa bowled beautifully. First up, and a boundary to open. Brilliant shot from Simone Lawrence. First to open proceedings in this run chase.
She played that shot with so much confidence. First ball, boundary. That's impressive.
Bolstering that onside now, Freya Sargent. Follows up that boundary with a single as Simone Lawrence.
I think the one thing South Africa is going to do, they're going to rotate strike. So Simone won't have too much power to carry the team. They're going to share the load.
Got a first ball, Gemma Botha on the sweep, on the paddle. And she only manages to find short, fine leg. And Freya Sargent and Ireland strike in the first over, as did South Africa in their bowling innings.
And Gemma Botha has to go for a duck. This is not the start South Africa is looking for.
Gemma Botha out without scoring. It's 5 for 1.
And for the first ball, I think that was a very poor selection shot.
One thing that Ireland will be happy about is that they've hung on to the first opportunity that presented itself. The previous game, they let themselves down with a number of dropped catches, this time on the money. Diarra Ramlakhan, also one of those members of the inaugural squad that participated in the ICC T20I Women's World Cup. Lovely touch. She's a touch player and a class player, Diarra Ramlakhan. Good work. A single from Simone Lawrence keeps the scoreboard ticking.
And South Africa might have lost a wicket in this first over, but at least they scored 7 runs, and they're not looking to hold back. That's a good first over for South Africa. That's 8 runs after the first over.
Yeah, 8 for 1 after the first over. Freya Sargent getting the wicket of Gemma Botha. Yeah, McNulty. Sharing the new ball responsibilities with Freya Sargent.
Ireland looks like we'll search for another wicket.
Starts off with a dot ball. It's so important when you're defending a low total, Betty, to keep on picking up wickets.
Breaking the partnerships and making sure you don't give out runs cheaply. So the fielding, the bowling has to be top notch. Don't let South Africa settle in.
Oh, quick single. And the fumble gets Diarra Ramlakan safely home. 31 for 1 after 3, 10 and over South Africa. In pursuit of 105 for a series clean sweep here at the Tuks Oval.
Your prediction? In how many overs will South Africa?
Yeah, Ireland need to make a contest of it. I'd like to see them pick up more wickets. Really do. Laura McBride.
If Ireland can get 2 quick wickets, South Africa will be under pressure again.
Always add 2 wickets to the score. And everything changes.
Exactly. Break the partnerships and put them under pressure.
Use of the feet, outside edge. And it's a good chase from Ireland. Showing a bit of desperation in the field. And pick up 2, Dara Lamlakan.
And that's very impressive because that could have easily gone for a boundary. So that was a good chase from Ireland.
2 wickets to the score. Sweep and over. Lovely batting this from Tiara Ramlakan. Not the greatest of balls from Laura McBride. 2 straight. Strayed onto those Tiara Ramlakan pads and swept away to the boundary for 4. This time picking the gap. .1 runs per over at the moment of South Africa. This McBride over has already gone for 8. Make that 9 of the McBride over. It's 40 for 1 after 4 overs. South Africa are flying here.
This is a great start for South Africa. And they're well ahead in this run chase.
Well ahead. Well ahead. Amy Maguire. Mid on, mid off, up in the circle, sweeper on the offside. Third and fine also in the circle. Starts off with the wide, does Maguire.
And that's the first extra for Ireland.
Good running, really good running. Ran the first one hard, Ramlakan and Lawrence, and turned it to 2. Albeit there was a fumble on the boundary line as well. Oh, could be out. Yes, it is. Simone Lawrence throws her head back in disappointment. She's picked up long off. And South Africa lose their second wicket. But a really good impact from Simone Lawrence. She's gone for 29 of 16.
And the partnership is broken after 38 runs. Simone Lawrence's strike rate is quite impressive. And South Africa needs 62 runs to win. And the new batter at the crease is the captain, Kayla Reinecke.
Kayla Reinecke, strong ball striker of the cricket ball. Need to get her early. And this is the first opportunity taken. Amy Hunter. First ball, South Africa's captain. Needed to get her early because she can be dangerous. 2 in 2 for Amy Maguire. And all of a sudden, Ireland have a spark of belief of defending 105 here.
And like I said, Pillar, Ireland needs to get 2 quick wickets, and they've done just that. So now the pressure switches to South Africa again.
It does. They've got classy batters coming in. Karabo Miso batted nicely in the previous game. Kayla Reinecke only knows one way, and that's to attack. Probably needed to curb her natural instincts just for a couple of balls to get herself set. And she went from ball 1, didn't she, Betty? And that was a downfall.
Yeah, sometimes you just need to get in the crease and settle in first. Then you can see where you can pick your spots, where to hit the boundaries.
Miso just defends the first one. This is a very good over for Amy Maguire.
2 wickets from this over already, and 1 more ball left.
Very good over for Amy Maguire and for Ireland. They've picked up 2 wickets in that 5th over. South Africa 43 for 3.
I'm so impressed with Ireland. They're not going down without a fight here. And that's what's needed.
McNulty. It is, isn't it? Wanting to make a game of it. And I think that's so good from this Irish side. They've fought hard at every given opportunity in this 5-match T20 series. Yes, the results haven't been satisfactory, but the performances have left everything out onto the park, both at Groenkloof and here at the Tuks Oval.
A quick single for South Africa.
Ooh, buzzers. It's a little sloppy from Ireland. McNulty wasn't aware the throw was going back at her. And Miso picks up 2. Nice return from McNulty. Can't get it through. Last over of the power play. South Africa trying to maximize 2 balls left of it. McNulty's bowled a tight over. Maguire has picked up 2 in the previous one. So a very good passage of play for Ireland here.
Yeah, and McNulty will look to finish off the over without conceding a boundary.
Excellent last 2 overs from Ireland in this power play. McNulty just concedes the 3 from the 6th over. It's 46 for 3.
Quite impressive for Ireland for picking up 3 wickets in this power play. Let's see how they're going to do in the middle overs.
Maguire to continue. I think that's come off the glove of Diarra Ramlakan.
Amy Maguire will look to search for another wicket in this over.
Nice running. She realized that she wasn't at the pitch of the ball, Diarra Ramlakan, so she had to check her shot. Oh, Boulder! That is so good from Amy Maguire. Quicker, flatter, and deceived Karabo Miso in the flight.
And this is still the start of her second over, and she is currently sitting on 3 wickets for 4 runs. That is very impressive. And she's still got the 2 that's left. So South Africa has to keep it tight when Amy's bowling.
Excellent work from Ireland. Karabo Miso is the 4th batter to be dismissed for South Africa.
The pressure seems to be building up for South Africa because they're currently sitting on 47 runs for 4 wickets. So they've got the overs, but they're losing the wickets.
Still 58 runs required, Betty. There is every possibility that Ireland can defend this total if they can continue to pick up wickets.
And yeah, that's the only thing they have to do, pick up the wickets, break these partnerships so that South Africa can be under pressure.
Chanel Venter as the new batter out. That's how you win the game from an Ireland perspective. They have to continue picking up wickets. They can't just restrict South Africa. It's the only way that they're going to win this game is to bowl South Africa out. And they're almost halfway there.
If they can get the next 2 wickets, the game will be really on. Not that it's not on now.
Sweep shot from Ramla Khan. And she gets through. Another very good over for Mamie Maguire. She's picked up 3 wickets now. 49 for 4, South Africa. In South Africa, and a slight spot of bother. I haven't been in this position too much during this 5-match T20 international series.
But that's the whole point of this series, to see how you're going to react when you're under pressure.
Ramla Khan behind square on the leg side and through. Much needed boundary from South Africa. Diarra Ramla Khan finds it.
Diarra made sure with that full toss.
Millie Spence just straying on those pads. Full toss as well. This time short and wide and cut away. And there's protection down at the sweeper boundary. Just the 1 run. Then Ireland will leave the series having known that they can pick up wickets, won't they?
Definitely. They just need to focus, well, not only, but their main focus has to be building partnerships and try to stay at the crease, which means the batters, they have to do their job.
Yeah, that is still a work in progress for Ireland. Getting to defendable scores, chasing down scores. Have to do it with the bat. The bowling seems to be functioning just fine. Just making sure that they have decent enough partnerships with Amy Hunter, the captain who's shown some real promise on this tour with the bat.
And it was unfortunate that she got out in the first over.
Use of the feet from Ramla Khan. Doesn't get enough of it. Coming back for the second! And she hasn't made her ground, Diarra Ramla Khan. Brilliant fielding from Ireland. And South Africa. Well. Half the side down now for 55. And Ireland right in the mix of possibly winning this 5th and final T20 international.
Ireland has a chance here. They have a big chance. And what's been impressive, it's close to, after the 8th over, they have picked up 5 wickets. And they're probably starting to believe they can actually bowl South Africa out now.
Have to believe, Betty. You have to believe. Those in the Irish camp will believe.
And for South Africa, the 49 runs they need, it seems like a big margin.
Jaylee Philander in at number 7. Tidy over again for Millie Spence. Her first one concedes 7 runs, but crucially, there was a wicket in it. 56 for 5.
And for South Africa, it's 2 new batters at the crease. So Ireland is making sure they're taking out the top order.
Oh, careful, careful. Don't want another run out. Chanel Fenter, new to the crease. Jaylee Philander, new to the crease. Opportunity for Ireland here, Betty. Need to be tighter than that, though. Make sure that they cut off the ones.
Yeah, which means the fielding will have to be on point. It will have to be perfect to even avoid the singles.
Just build a bit of pressure. Not by bowling wide, though. Just for a few overs here, Betty. They need to build a bit of pressure. Make South Africa feel that the next few runs are still far away.
And make sure they don't let South Africa build on this partnership.
Over the top. Release of pressure from Chanel Fenter.
And a much needed boundary. This is a very expensive over for Amy. She'll be very disappointed.
So you got to start building the pressure. Building those pressure by bowling dot balls. Fielders, field placings need to be spot on. Umpires just checking whether the over is done. Might be a concussion check here also for Chanel Fenter. That ball ricocheted and hit her helmet. The umpires going through the protocol of making sure that she's okay. There'll be a pause and play just to check whether Chanel Fenter is okay. Now that's the most important thing, isn't it? Build dot balls, build pressure, force South Africa to make a mistake. The game's finally on the balance here, 63 for 5. One more wicket here. Ireland will tell themselves 1 more wicket. And we can make inroads here.
And with South Africa currently sitting on 63 for 5, if Ireland can get the next wicket, then the pressure will shift to South Africa again. Because with South Africa, with every boundary they score, it's pressure to Ireland because the score keeps decreasing. So South Africa needs 42 runs to win. and they're currently sitting on 63 for 5 after 8.4 overs.
Can still go either way here.
Definitely, it's not over. It's not over.
Fenter's okay. Play is resumed. Maguire's bowled a dot ball, a crucial one. Nice to close out this over. Oh, almost through. Almost through.
And this is a very expensive over for Amy Maguire. And after 9 overs, South Africa is sitting on 63 for 5.
Philander needs a score here. Jaylee Philander. If she can be the one that guides South Africa to victory here, gives her that extra bit of confidence going back to her franchise, to her province. I've done it in national colours. I've seen South Africa home. Lucy Neely. That's what Chanel Fenter and Jaylee Philander will be thinking in their heads here, Betty, to guide this South African side home to victory.
They have to take South Africa home.
Edged. And this will run away. And pulled in just short of that boundary. Just 2 runs added to the score.
Every run matters at this point. Every run matters.
Edged, yes, and gone! Philander can't do it for South Africa. Ireland are back in it. 6 wickets down now for South Africa. And it's looking really, really good for Ireland here. South Africa 65 for 6. And it's time for a drinks break. If a wicket didn't fall, they would have finished this over and then take the drinks break. But the wicket flew out, so they'll take the drinks break.
Whitewash. You want to come this one.
Lucy Neely's done really well. In her first over, she's picked up a big wicket of Jaylee Philander. South Africa just feeling the pressure a little bit here.
And South Africa takes a single.
Excellent over from Lucy Neely. She's picked up the wicket and only conceded the 4 runs. South Africa under a bit of pressure, 67 for 6.
And we've reached the halfway mark. So what are the South African batters probably thinking now? They're probably saying to each other, look, we just need less than 40 runs. We've got 10 overs, so let's take it easy.
Absolutely, it's still less than run a ball to get 38 runs with 10 overs still to go. So the equation still favors South Africa. It's now up to Venter and Cowling to keep their composure and guide the South African side to victory. Amy Maguire and company, though, they'll have other ideas. They'll want to pick up the last 4 wickets for victory. Leave South Africa with something to show about.
There's a big... It's going for a boundary. That's a good hit from Venter.
Really good option this from Chanel Venter. Might question the field placing from the Irish. Mid-off is up in the circle, left arm spinner. You want that fielder to be protecting the boundary. With the ball spinning away from the right-handers.
So now with Ireland, they aren't trying to restrict the runs. They are searching for the wickets.
Have to think wickets. Oh, hurry back. Quick word from Faye Cowling just to keep her composure. You've already got 4 in this over. Got enough. Don't need more. Can afford to see the over out. Don't feel flustered. Don't feel under pressure to score more. Required rate is just 3.
They have more than enough time.
Swung away. Opportunity. Ireland have caught everything in this final game. Amy Maguire has 4. And South Africa are in tatters. That's the 7th wicket down. And it's a big one. It's Chanel Venter was looking well set.
Again, the partnership is broken. Ireland are 71 for 7. They're now starting to believe that if they can get those 3 wickets, they can get a win here and walk away with something. And Amy Maguire has been very impressive with this over. Her third over was very expensive, but her 4th one, just 4 runs from it and a wicket.
What a spell of bowling this is from Amy Maguire. After dropping more than 5 catches in the 4th game, Ireland have hung on and clung on to everything in this 5th and final game. 4 for 17. What a spell of bowling that was. Faye Cowling, meanwhile, is not letting this advantage slide from a South African point of view. Starts the Millie Spence over with the boundary. Over the top and straight enough from Faye Cowling. Dangerous player, this all-rounder from the Lions. Back-to-back boundaries and just eases the bit of pressure that was building on South Africa.
Much needed boundaries indeed.
Over the top and straight. Dangerous player. Again, up and over. Oh, this is brilliant piece of batting. With the side under pressure, Faye Cowling is stepping up to the plate.
And Cowling is just wrapping things up for South Africa. And just in the nick of time, South Africa just needs 26 runs to win.
Okay, you understand why those fielders are up in the circle. Ireland are thinking wickets. They're not trying to stem the run flow. This is lovely batting. This is calm and mature batting from Faye Cowling. Gotta think wickets. So Amy Hunter was trying to make sure that those fielders are in positions to catch the ball. Well, Faye Cowling has just eliminated every one of them and hit it over the top. He's got 4 boundaries. Has that bowled her? I think that has. What has happened there? The umpires will confer. But the Irish are celebrating. It looks like Luyanda Nzuza has bottom edged that onto her stumps. And she's been given out. Another timely strike for Millie Spence. 8 down now, South Africa, and another bit of life in this Irish onslaught. Is it Neely? She hit wicket. Oh my goodness. It's Lucy Neely, in fact, the bowler. In confirmation of the dismissal for Luyanda Nzuza. Hit wicket. It was probably the rarest form of a dismissal in any form of the game.
There seems to be like a twist of tail. One moment, Ireland is in the driving seat. Then the next moment, South Africa scores 2 boundaries and they're back into the driving seat. But now, South Africa needs 21 runs to win.
Oh, nervous. I'm nervous. I don't know about you, Betty.
And they're only left with 2 wickets.
Nervous for both sides. So much fight. So much spirit from this Irish side. Freya Sargent. That's who Amy Hunter's gone to try and pick up the final 2 wickets. Oh, opportunity just bounces short and gone to the boundary. She had to go for it. Needed for that to stick and just bounce short. It's Cowling again.
And she's probably saying, I'm taking my team home. I'm taking my team home.
Change in the field now. Long off goes to the boundary. Squele comes up into the ring. Now then, yes! It's Freya Sargent who's doing the business for Amy Hunter and for Ireland. It's a huge wicket. It's the big hitting Faye Cowling who's hit it straight down the throat of Long off.
Pila, I'm nervous. Ireland needs 1 wicket to win, and South Africa needs 17 runs to win. And now, 17 runs thinks is like a big margin now.
Oh, this game.
Because South Africa has no room left to make any mistakes. "17 runs is probably like a big margin when you have no wicket left. No wicket left. Let's see what Ireland will do to get their first win in this series."
Down to numbers 10 and 11 for South Africa. Ashley van Wyk and Tabiseng Nini both haven't faced the delivery. Freya Sargent 2 for 22. Can she be the hero for Ireland? Dot ball. Precious dot ball from Freya Sargent.
I'm quite nervous. I'm nervous for South Africa because they have no wickets left.
Gotta hold your nerve, yeah. Ireland, you have to hold your nerve. They are absolutely in the driving seat now. Single. Off the mark, Tabiseng Nini.
Ireland is just searching for this last wicket.
Plenty of time for South Africa, but it's the wickets that are a problem. 89 for 9.
I'm very proud of this Ireland side, to be quite honest. To be able to defend 104 runs, that's very impressive.
Excellent over from Freya Sargent. Conceded the boundary in the first ball of that over, but then picked up the big wicket of Faye Cowling. 89 for 9. 13 overs gone, and South Africa staring down the barrel of a first defeat in this 5-match T20 series. What a way this would be if Ireland get there, to finish on a high and take so much positives from this tour of South Africa. Lucy Neely. Dot ball, precious dot ball that from Lucy Neely.
And now, by the looks of things, South Africa is struggling to score runs.
Good fielding, good stop. Really good stop. He struck that well, Tabiseng Nini. Good run, good run. South Africa can still go at ones here and they'll get there comfortably. That's what they need to tell themselves. No panic. Well, they get through. They'll get through. Also, no rash singles. Oh, I can't watch anymore, Betty. I can't.
It's nerve-wracking. It's nerve-wracking.
Dab down. Will it go to the boundary? I don't think it has enough pace to get there. I'll come back for the second, Tabiseng Nini.
And that's a good chase from Ireland. They do not want to concede any boundaries.
Love one more fielder on the offside in, just to cut off that one extra single. Oh, hesitation. Sharp enough. Oh, buzzers. Buzzers. That's not what Ireland needed. It's 5 from that.
Because of an overthrow.
My goodness.
Ireland needs to try and avoid making silly mistakes. If you're searching for the win, avoid overthrows.
What was a really good Lucy Neely over. Not so much with that last one. South Africa edge even closer. 98 for 9. And crucially for them, they'll be telling themselves that what we need is less than double digits. Need a wicket here in this over. Freya Sargent needs to finish it in this over.
Ireland is searching very hard for that wicket, but they're making silly mistakes.
Through the field again. We'll come back for the second. South Africa hit the 100-run mark. 100 for 9. Catching great in this match. Ground fielding not so. This will edge South Africa even closer now. It's gone all the way for boundary. Just one needed for South Africa for victory. Someone's done a bit of a nasty here. It's been a hot day here in Pretoria. She might just be struggling for a bit of air. And what a game, Betty. What a game we have on our hands here. We've been spoiled to some really good cricket on this final day.
And the pressure kept on changing from Ireland to South Africa, from South Africa to Ireland. And for both teams, there's so many positives to take from this match.
Can't lose. 1 run to win. Freya Sargent needs a wicket.
And the tail is taking South Africa home.
Right then, 1 to win for South Africa. Freya Sargent to Ashley van Wyk. Need more fielders in the ring. Everyone up on the offside. Needs to be tighter. And it's a wide, and South Africa will get through. They win a very dramatic 5th game in this series, and they take the series by 5 games to 0. So much grit and determination from both sides.
Both teams have played good cricket, competitive cricket. And for their build-up and preparations for the World Cup, this is good.
Excellent game of cricket here at the Tuks Oval. South Africa sneak it by a wicket. But Ireland spare a thought because they fought well. They fought hard. And they were within a whisker. Literally a whisker of winning this game and picking up their first win of this series. But they've been excellent. They've been really good all week long here. There's been difficult conditions. It's been hot. They've played some really good cricket led by Amy Hunter. Diligently so by Amy Hunter, who's kept well and batted well. Number of star performances, some standout performances from the likes of Freya Sargent. Amy Maguire was excellent with the ball this afternoon. But South Africa have won the series by 5 games to 0. But they needed the tail at the end to get them through.
A win by 1 wicket. A job well done to Ireland for putting up a good fight. It was much needed. They can take a lot of positives from this game, that they are able to take wickets, but their batting has to improve. So if they can put on board a decent score, they'll be able to compete. And with South Africa, they've done very well to win the series 5-0. And it wasn't the best, but there's still time to prepare. But well done to South Africa for winning the series 5-0.
Confirmation then of the result. South Africa win by a wicket, a solitary wicket. 104 plays, 104 for 9 plays, 105 for 9. And some really good performances there from an Irish point of view. Lara McBride, 33 from 34. And with the ball, Amy Maguire, 4 for 17 in her 4 overs. With Freya Sargent also ably assisting, 2 for 29. Lucy Neely, 1 for 13. And Millie Spence, 1 for 20. In South Africa, there's a bit of a collapse in that game. I'll look at that from a coaching point of view and try to rectify it as they also build towards the ICC T20 Women's Under-19 World Cup in Malaysia next year. Simone Lawrence was good, top scored with 29 from 17. Tiara Ramlakan ran herself out, really, 21 from 16. But Faye Cowling added the impetus lower down the order, 18 from 8 deliveries. And you could argue that those 18 runs were invaluable in South Africa reaching the target of 105. It's been a lovely week of cricket here in Pretoria. South Africa victors by 5 games to 0. Thank you so much for your efforts, Betty, this afternoon.
Thank you, Pilar.
South Africa won by 1 wicket, and we'll have the post-match presentation in a couple of minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the post-match presentation of what has been a thrilling 5-match T20 international series between South Africa and Ireland, with South Africa winning at the end, right at the death, by 1 wicket in this 5th and final international. Got Rudy Birkenstock alongside me to present a couple of awards to some star performances throughout this week, and we'll start with the player of the match from the 4th international. And with an innings of 73 from 42 deliveries, South Africa's captain, Kayla Reineke. Some really good performances from Kayla Reineke throughout this week. And the player of the match from this 5th game, a person that could have won the game for Ireland with figures of 4 for 17. It's Amy Maguire. Some really good performances from Amy Maguire. Almost pulled it through at the end for Ireland. Now, the series has been hotly contested. Some really good performances from either side. Mentioned the fact that Amy Maguire could have gotten Ireland over the line in this 5th game, but for her performances with the bat and with the ball, the player of the series is South Africa's captain, Kayla Reineke. Clearly in top of the pile in terms of run scoring in this series, Kayla Reineke. Some excellent performances and some big hitting with the bat and some crucial wickets with the ball as well. I'd like to call Amy Hunter, the Irish captain, to have a couple of words with me. Amy, it's been a tough week for you results-wise, but how proud of you are you of the efforts of the girls this week?
Yeah, I think hugely proud. I think that game there kind of shows that the girls have a lot of fight in them. I think we've learned a lot from this week, and we can take a lot kind of into the next sort of training block ahead of the World Cup.
How important was this last game? Because you nearly pulled it off, just 1 wicket away from a victory that could have given you, and probably still does give you, a lot of confidence going into that next training block.
Yeah, definitely. I think it gives the girls a huge amount of confidence that we can compete with the quality side like South Africa. But I think obviously disappointing not to get over the line there, but I think at the end of the day probably didn't have enough runs on the board. But yeah, hugely disappointing, but I think there's so many things we can take forward.
What can you fix though from the bat? Because that's clearly been some of the sort of the letdowns during this week. The performances with the bat, the bowling seems fine with plenty of options, both spin-wise and pace-wise. What needs to be fixed with the bat?
Yeah, I think we'll probably have a look into it with the coaches, but I think losing wickets in clusters kind of kills any team. So I think that's probably something we have to address going forwards, but there's definitely positives there to take as well, I think.
How much have you enjoyed being in South Africa this week? What have been the key takeaways from you off the field?
Yeah, it's been amazing. Thanks so much to Cricket South Africa for having us. It's been an amazing experience for the girls. I think trying to get away and play against such a quality team. Off the field we've had a lot of fun. But yeah, no, it's been a great week.
Thank you so much for coming through. All the best for the preparations for the World Cup next year, and hopefully we'll do some really good work at the World Cup.
Thank you very much.
Amy Hunter, Ireland's captain. I'd like to call Kayla Reineke, South Africa's captain. Kayla, well done. Great performances throughout the week, both personally and from a team perspective. How can you sum up the week for us quickly?
Look, it's been an incredible tour for us. I mean, flipping hell. Taking 5-0, it's crazy. I mean, I've stand there just like took in the moment. I mean, like appreciating what we just did. not every person can say they represent their country. So yeah, very grateful for every opportunity we get as a team, and yeah, super proud of the girls, super proud of the management. We've been working hard, and yeah, shout out to the Irish to always also come through JSA.
Yeah, there have been some contributions from almost every member of this South African side, not just you. It hasn't relied on you with the bat. Karabo's chipped in, Diarra's chipped in, Faye Cowling at the end in finishing off games. She's contributed. How proud of you are you of the performances of the entire squad throughout this week?
Yeah, look, as a batting unit and as a bowling unit and also fielding unit, like in a squad as in all, we look to perform every game. There's like very high standards we set for ourselves. So yeah, super proud of the girls that contributed throughout the tournament.
From a bowling perspective, there's plenty to choose from. Ashley and Seshni with the leg spin. There's a couple of off spinners. There's some nice seamers. From your assessment as captain of the side, that bowling attack, how can it do in that World Cup?
Look, we're playing in Malaysia, Thailand. Can't give secrets away. But yeah, we have a pretty decent bowling attack, and yeah, they're very strong. Leg spinners, off spinners, but even pacers. I back my bowlers 100% if they get ball in hand. They do the job.
Yeah, fantastic. Thank you very much. Thank you to the Irish as well for entertaining everybody throughout this week, and hopefully the preparations go well in the build up to that World Cup.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you guys for coming out. All the best for your prep to the World Cup. Yeah, may you improve as a unit leading up to a World Cup, and yeah, we'll see you there next year.
South Africa's captain, Kayla Reineke. I want you to stay here, Kayla, because I want you to bring your side to receive the series trophy from Mr. Rudy Birkenstock. I'll take that. South Africa winning this T20 International Series by 5-0 against Thailand. Some strong performances from all the sides.
Gaps off.
Excellent in her leadership as well. Kayla Reineke, so many good performances from the likes of Nini, Lechodi, Philander. Diarra Ramlakan's also chipped in with some crucial runs throughout the series. And hopefully this is the start of a really good preparation towards the World Cup for South Africa. Winners of this youth 5-match T20 series, South Africa. Thank you so much to everybody that has been involved in this series. Thank you to both boards for making sure that they organize this fantastic series. From all of us here at Groenkloof and the Tuks Oval, South Africa will win, and we'll see you next time.